we're gonna give it a minute and time and a place for everything. That's right. Time and a place. If there's anything specific that we want to take a look at today, guys, let me know. Hey, love. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to take a look at. Otherwise, we'll have a fair bit to go through. Howdy, howdy. All good, Nani. I am proudly doing a whole month of Feb with no booze, which is hard for me because usually I drink a fair bit. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm like 2 weeks down because I started early, and I've lost like 4 kilos. Enjoying soft drinks. I don't know about you guys, but here in Australia, they're doing some pretty good non-alcoholic beers these days. So yeah, it's kind of tricky brain, train your brain. It's been good. So I'm feeling good. Feeling good because health is wealth. We know that. So yeah, it's been good. Can we look at total 3? Yep, yeah, we can. No worries. All right, I reckon we go, hey? I reckon we are good to go. GM, good afternoon, good evening, depends where you are tuning from. Thank you for being here with me today again. Another week of trading with Aussie, of course. What we are going to do today, we're going to look at a few different things. Yeah, if you have any questions, of course, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you're live here with me, thank you for sharing your precious time. And if you're watching the recording, just drop a comment down below and let me know what you would like to look at next time. Where do we start? We always start with the 2. Gauge of the market, DXY, BTC dominance. So DXY has given us a nice push down, as we can see. Has taken all this beautiful liquidity. This happened on Tuesday, a couple of weeks ago. We've seen that already, and now what we are seeing is a break on the low side. So you can see we were going from creating higher highs and higher lows, stalling here, and then eventually broke structure, and now we've made another lower high, expecting therefore another lower low. Point of interest, you can see we are going to expect the DXY to come back into the 94s to 92s. Why? Because if you look on the weekly or any of the higher time frame, you can see that we are sitting pretty at the moment. We're just below the 618. We're kind of in between the 618 and the 76. So between the last low and the last high, we are likely going to come back somewhere in this box, okay, which makes sense. You can see we've got a fair bit of liquidity accumulated here. We've taken out the first line of defense, but now what we have created is another level of liquidity in the form of equal lows, okay? So you can see right here, equal low, equal low, equal low. So there's another level of liquidity there which will likely be taken out. What does that mean? Well, we know that when the dollar goes down, usually the assets tend to go up. Okay, dollar out of the way. We keep our little handy dandy magnet there. It is going to come there. We know that. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has been moving a little bit sideways for a little bit too long. We've been talking about this for weeks now, so getting pretty bored here. This sideways movement from the dominance, but the longer we consolidate, the more liquidity we create, which means when we break, and we will, when we break, is going to be catastrophically violent. Give you an idea of what it looks like when we break down. This is what it looks like. Boom, big drop, boom, big drop. So we consolidate, liquidity grab, boom, violent down. Okay, consolidate, boom, liquidity grab down. What did we do it here? Grab liquidity, consolidating, and we will likely, at some stage in the near-ish future, we need to wait for this. You can see, wait for the size of close below 50% and confirm. At the moment, we're still just ranging in this imaginary box. Okay, we imagine this is a box. We're still ranging here, high, low, high, low. until we close decisively, this is the key word today, decisively, we will not have a confirmation that we are breaking down on the low, on the downside. Bitcoin, speaking of ranges, this is something that I wanted to wait for the live to show you guys. And then we'll have a look at XRP, why we call XRP over Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was pretty much doing the same thing as the dominance, right? I'll go back a moment. What we can see here, we'll just go to there. What were we doing? This is on the 1 hour. We were forming low, 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 and eventually we kind of slow down. We tapped a massive level of liquidity here. If you actually go onto the 4 hour, and this is why I love boxing things up, you will start to see when you backtest, go all the way back into 10 October 2024. What do we see? We see going from high to low to high, create equal lows, grab all liquidity, continuation higher. This 4 hour candle right here was the one that grabbed all this liquidity and then had a big violent move up, right? This is called an institutional candle. So if we just simply box it up, you can see these were the equal lows. You can box it up and then guess where the market came back into magically $59,000, $60,000 and reversed. It's amazing how that works, isn't it? But back to what I was saying, 1 hour, what we did was effectively going from lower lows into slow down into what? What do we call this? In the chat, starts the R. What do we do? What are we doing? When we slow down and we move sideways. Yeah, it's ranging. That's right. We are ranging. We've been ranging. And what ranging does, in even simpler terms, is just creating liquidity, right? Like if I'm ranging in a box, that means that I'm creating equal highs and equal lows. What do we see here? I've put a little circle there for you. It's a little bit easier. What do we see there? We see a nice big spike up. That spike, that wick, grabbed that liquidity, which means it grabbed upside liquidity. So what's left? If the upside liquidity has been grabbed in a range, what is the next probable level of liquidity for market to go? Downside, because the upside has already been grabbed. So if that upside is already grabbed, I'm left with the downside. And of course, that's when we are moving towards, right? So Bitcoin could have been a nice short. Basically, once we started breaking from here, I wasn't on the charts at the time, but this was a nice retest, which was at midnight my time. So no, I was not awake, but this would have been a nice short. What we do instead is we look for similar plays. Enter XRP. XRP was doing the same thing, right? So we were creating what? We were creating lower lows, and then we started what? Ranging. XRP had already ranged for quite a while and had already grabbed upside liquidity, so it was left with downside liquidity. And it was pretty clear once you see that this was, oops, this is a ginormous error. Let's redo another one. This was the next level, clear level of liquidity here, which is what we targeted here as a TP1. So all we had to do was basically play off of this 1 hour candle, right? Let me highlight it for you. I'll circle it so you can see what we're talking about. This 1 hour candle was our entry 2, if you remember, and then entry 1 was here at market, and then we closed entry 1 because, well, why having 2 position open when you can have a better entry, right? So this was the entry 1 off of this candle. We wicked into it, mitigated this order, and boom, we started moving on to the downside. Now, these wicks are great. It means that they are attempting to grab upside liquidity. I'm still confident that we can go lower, especially when I see this kind of wicks. Okay, so these kind of wicks are telling me that there's manipulation on the upside, trying to get it, but in reality, the pressure of the market is to the downside. So this is a failed attempt for manipulating on the upside, and then of course you can see, boom, the candle closes in a doji side. So this is now a game of, okay, we have TP1 grabbed already, so we should have already been profitable in our trade. Now you can probably bring your stop loss at break even if you haven't done so already. We have already wicked up twice, so I would definitely say, look, we're taking a profit here. If not, you're still below TP1, so you definitely can move your stop loss at break even, protect your capital at all cost, and just wait. We might even get lower. We'll see. What I'm targeting is, I'll show you. TP is this candle right here. Okay, so what we see here in this, and now we're talking about the shape of the market, right? Like, I'm giving you something that I don't often take, I don't often explain, because it is a bit more, less, I guess it's a bit more personal. It's not as black and white as some of the other things that we talk about. But you learn to, from experience, you learn to have a look at the market and see that when we have a big rally up, the market magically stops here. You can see bullish, bullish, well, bearish, bullish, bearish, and then bullish, 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 bullish. Why is this candle here? What's happening here? Well, what's happening here is that there is a level somewhere to the left, usually, of liquidity, where basically the sellers are testing the strength of the buyer. We're testing this level. We're testing if there's enough buying pressure. And, when obviously the market continues, there is, and we continue higher. But usually what happens is market tends to come back to these levels. Okay, so we tend to come back to these levels right here, where we see, I call this rally base rally, rally base rally. Okay, so in these base levels, we tend to see that, hey, there's going to be a retest. Likely the sellers are going to come back to test the buying pressure, and then the question will be, do we hold there or do we continue down? Okay, so I'm not saying definitely close 100% of the profit here, but this is a good TP to close at least 75% of your position. If you want to leave a run, of course you can, and we can try to attempt to go lower, but this is going to be a very important test. Let me actually highlight it for you on the chart here, and what we're going to do is we're going to call it buying pressure. Okay, because all we are going to do there, we are going to see a nice pressure of a nice retest of the buying pressure there. Okay, so that's the XRP trade that we took, profitable and happy. Let's take a look at ETH. ETH we closed, I can't remember if we took it or not, but I closed the break even. I didn't like that structure, so we can delete that now. Nothing there. Let's have a look at the higher time frame, and you can see probably already from the boxes, if you know what we're talking about. We talked about it for quite a while now. On the higher time frame, we have low to high. We are now sitting at the 786, otherwise known, if you follow Aussie, as my kill zone. This level has also mitigated a pretty big fair value gap. You can see here. So there's a fair value gap. I'll make it like black so you can see. It's basically this big fair value gap right there. We have now mitigated that fair value gap with this week. And what is going to be interesting now to see is, do we hold or do we defend this level on ETH? This is obviously a big wick. There was an attempt of, do a bullish engulfing. It didn't quite engulf. In fact, it didn't even close above. And now we're retesting below. So I think we're pretty close to topping. Bottoming, not topping. But there is you can see here some equal lows there that are still not grabbed. Very close, but that 1700 to potentially coming back into this imbalances here at all the way to 1400. This is a nice area of potential reverses. So before I call out anything for ETH, what I want to see, and I'm on the daily now, I want to see price slowing down, right? So I want to see this kind of price action, ranging for a bit, breaking structure, and off we go. So unless I see this, I'm not going to call out anything. I don't think this is going to be a V-shaped recovery. I don't necessarily love V-shaped recoveries because they're great when you catch them, but it's a bit of a gamble. Whereas this is definitely price, basically exhausting the bearish price action and then building, obviously, the bullish momentum. So this is what we're going to be waiting for. Okay, so this consolidation here on ETH. So nothing there. Let's take a look. What should we take a look at next? Why do I have Sol? Wait, there it is. Sol. So Solana, we didn't call out this idea because it has entered that DCA zone. We can delete this as well. We didn't take the leverage, and I'm glad that we didn't. But what it has done, you can see, we'll talk about it. It has grabbed liquidity. Okay, so very important level there for Sol. It has done a beautiful liquidity sweep right there. Oopsie, there, right there. And if you go back, this is the level that we tapped into all the way back from January this 2024, so a couple of years ago, right? 2 years and we round trip. So $80 back here, $80 again. Now, do we go back and lower? Well, you tell me, fam, and I want to know what you see. What you see on a, sorry, just the package has been delivered. Just making sure my dogs don't kill the man outside. You can see on a higher time frame. This look bullish to you, or does it look bearish? I'm on a weekly now, right? On a weekly, and I can just make it. There's nothing there. Very bearish, doesn't it? Like it until it slows down. The downside momentum here. Whew, there's still room. There's all this down here can still come down lower. So it is not impossible for Solana to, capitulate another 50, 60, 70%. So we're sitting at $80, at $40, even $37, $38 Solana coming back into this last push before we slow down. You can see we on a monthly now. We push down, we slow down, and then we moved up. So this candle has got my attention at 31, 32. And then obviously if we go on the weekly, we can see a bit more. Same here. So this $32, $40, call it $40. It's my level of interest, right? At $40, I'll be interested again in actually buying Solana for spot, for portfolio. Okay, I'm not interested at 79. The reason is it's just too bearish. There's still too much downside. And even if we obviously go and have a look, like we basically just tapped the 786. The AA6 sits at $45. So yeah, I am gonna wait a little bit. I want to see this kind of price action again. Okay, slow down, build bullish momentum, and then go. So for Sol, I am not interested at the moment for spot. Whereas yes, Ethereum, like we just talked about, it's sitting at a slightly more appealing level here because you can see it has already retraced a lot deeper. So this was the AA6 that we got tapped. Okay, so we're a lot deeper into that same retracement on Solana. Oh, sorry, on ETH versus Solana. Zach, someone was asking about Zach. So Zcash. I mean, we talked about this literally on, like, I leave drawings on the chart not because I want them. I like a clean chart just so that I can go back to on Monday 10th of November when Zcash was at $600. We talked about there's going to be two levels that we're going to bounce off. There's going to be the 400 to 300 level, and there's going to be the 200 230 level. Look what happened. Oop. First level bounced off, boom, great, tick. Second level, boom, bounced off, and off we go. So it's just about having patience, right? Like if we understand the market comes into certain levels because there's liquidity, because there's orders that need to be filled, because there's imbalances in the market, all we have to do is what? We just have to do, what do we have to do? Wait. Okay, all we have to do is wait for the market to come to us. We don't have to do anything fancy. We just have to literally put our feet up and wait for market to come here. Wait for market to come here. And if you put, alerts, you can, that's one way to do it. I've showed you guys many times how to do it. You can just draw a line, put an alert, and off you go. Or you can just set limit orders. If you want to buy for spot, right? This was a great play that we did on leverage. It's still going. If you're in it, this was the entry right there when we saw that level. Cover entry if you are in that play with us, of course. I don't want this to reverse and stop you out. that's pretty much it when it comes to you know, just levels that we want to wait. We just have to be patient, fam. Be patient. Well, now I'm gonna take a look at the total tree because someone asked earlier. Total tree. Let's take a peek. All right. So what we're looking at here is the market cap of all of crypto, excluding BTC and ETH. Okay, so that's called total tree. So basically, this is all of crypto excluding BTC and ETH. Liquidity grab, breaker structure. Let me draw it. It's a little bit easier to visualize. Okay. Yeah, can you see it? So now the big test is going to come here. This is going to be the big test. This candle right here on the weekly magnet, which almost got tapped. This weekly candle is going to be the big test. This shows me that there is going to be more downside. Hang on, my mouse is gone in one of my other computers. Okay. This is the test where I want to see total tree slowing down and then building upside liquidity. Yeah. So right now, there's nothing there that tells me this is a great recovery. Sure, is, you know, wick down and grab that liquidity, but I want to see this candle filled, properly filled. Okay, this is on a 2 weeks time frame, week time frame, same thing. The weekly candles right here. So there's going to be more downside here in this chart. Personally, I think we are not done yet. If you look at a fib level, you know, this is the whole expansion. So let's go on a weekly. So this is the low, this is the high. The 76 conveniently sits right into this. Oopsie, into this candle. Can you see it? Can you see the level? Hey, struggling there with my mouse today. 76 candle. Yeah. So there's going to be more downside, meaning obviously money is likely going to exit either crypto or basically going more into the main two. Given the Bitcoin dominance is also pretty bearish here, I am definitely leaning towards money is for the shorter term. And when I say shorter term, I mean, you know, a few weeks, a few months, we are likely going to see money exiting crypto. Okay. So does that mean that crypto is, you know, cooked? Are we cooked? Well, no, we're not cooked. Look at this. Goldman Sachs reveals $2.3 billion in crypto investments. Now, banks in the States, right, to be honest, in any country really, they are usually publicly traded company. When you are a publicly traded company, it means you have to disclose your assets that you're buying, what you earn, what your balance sheet, right? Like you have to disclose what's on your balance sheet. This, if you're a crypto veteran, you may remember Goldman Sachs a few years ago saying they will never buy crypto and Bitcoin was a scam. This bank, the same bank that today is holding $2.3 billion in crypto, right? So yeah, look, we're not cooked like rice, like Lunatic is saying in the chat. We're not cooked like rice in crypto, right? We're just a little bit early still. And I know it feels like, whoa, this has been a hell of a ride already. But in reality, right? Goldman Sachs Q4 reveals 2.36 in crypto. Okay, so that's a 15% quarter-over-quarter increase. That is massive. Okay, so that is massive. This is a good news for crypto. We don't talk about it. We don't hear about it because people don't necessarily, you know, these banks don't really want to publicize this kind of earnings. Otherwise, everyone will go and buy crypto. They want to buy at where? At lows. We've got XPR ETFs closed. And in case you don't know about it, we are now seeing what? We are now seeing filing for Link, chain link ETFs, okay? Meaning we're likely going to be able to invest in our 401ks, superannuations, whatever you want to call it, depending on what country you are in, into Link. That's massive, okay? So Chainlink is one of the probably one of my top 3 projects that I'm the most bullish on, just because of utility, proven utility, tokenomics, everything just make sense, okay? So am I against DCA in here? No, I bought Chainlink the other day at $8. Am I going to buy in Chainlink at 7, at 6, at 5, all the way to 5? You can see possible retest of 5. Absolutely, you bet that I am. This level right here, it's a very important level, of course. You can see you got retested, had a nice bounce off it. This was rejected. You can call it support if you want. In reality, all it is just a level of demand, right? It's just a level where investors go, hey, at $5, I'm buying big. So we're close. I'm not going to try to time it because we may not get there, but Chainlink anywhere between $8 to $5, I'm in. I'm buying. I'm going to be buying again, and I'm going to be buying again, and I'm going to be buying again, all the way to $2 if I have to. I'm going to be buying Chainlink because the upside, I do believe we will see another $30 Chainlink. Well, I do believe we'll see all-time Chainlink. So if I buy in at 5, 8, great. If I buy at 2, even better. So I'm not going to be upset if my position keeps going lower. I'm going to be happy because that's going to give me time to accumulate at a lower price. Okay, so sorry, I went on a little tangent there, but I thought it was an important description, the distinction to make when it comes to this point in the market. And I don't know if you read on my channel, I am going to transition more towards portfolio building in this stage of the cycle. Just because the trading side of thing will come, we will have setup. We know we can catch these kind of moves right here, sure. But at the moment, we are going to see this kind of price action for a little while, okay? And sure, this is okay to trade, but this is the best time, the single best time to find entries for your portfolio. These are the times that pay. The boring times where you just literally move sideways and crypto is boring and the chart is boring, there's no real big breakouts. These are the time to buy for portfolio. So I do think we'll see a slowdown and chop here for the next few months, which is going to give us time to build some awesome portfolios there. Okay. All right. So we talked about crypto. We talked about some of the things we like to invest in. Let's take a quick look at some of the stocks. Now, I'm buying coffee, and I don't mean just the coffee that I'm drinking. I'm a huge coffee drinker. I blame it on my Italian heritage, but in reality, I just love it. So I'm buying coffee at $2.92. 290, 280, and I'm buying coffee all the way down into the 240. So do with this information as you will. These are coffee cash contract, of course. I'm not talking about the actual asset because good luck trying to sell that. I'm talking about the coffee cash contract. So anywhere between 292 into the 240. So all this level here, I'm buying. Okay, so that's it for me for coffee. What do we have here? We have PayPal. PayPal, I would love to say I'm buying now, but I'm not buying just yet. I do need to see price slowing down because we could potentially come back into a yearly candle. Nobody looks at the yearly ever because it's too boring, because there's not a lot of info. Guess what? That's where there is no noise, because the higher the time frame, the less noise we have. Oops, there. We could potentially be seeing this candle down here tapped into, okay, for PayPal, which is our $38 all the way into 36. We're currently sitting at 40, so we're still pretty close. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait a little bit and see, and just give PayPal the confirmation to me that it is in fact moving higher. Lululemon is back at entry. I like this level already for a buy. So if you didn't buy with us here previously back in September, October, whenever we were calling it back, this is a great entry again. So 175, I'm keen here. We could retest 168, but we're talking a little bit of difference here. If you do have a target like I do up here in the 480, this is a great risk to reward. Coinbase has done exactly what we said it was going to do. If you remember back in early this month, 2nd of February, we said, we're going to break this trend line. for sure, and we're going to come back into 120. And so far, so good. Trend line is broken, and bearish candles are nicely accumulating. So we've gone from 183 back then into now we're sitting in the 146. So give me a little bit more downside, come back, take out this equal low or this liquidity down here at 116, and I am a buyer right there. Okay, so that is my level for Coinbase right there, 114. Done. Got my alert. Thank you very much. Thanks for playing. SanDisk, we talked about it. I'm not going to touch until it returns. This is my watch list, by the way. So I'll talk about it with you guys as we go. Intel, we had a massive expansion. If you want to take profit now, this is the time to take some P's because we were entering at 20. We are almost at 50. So take some off the table. And this is a great chart that I was showing some of my students, all right, to study. This is a great chart to study about change of character, break of structure, retest, area to wait for. What we need to see here is we need to see price slow down and confirming the break of structure. So far, we had a great reaction. So RIVN here is positioning itself as another buy yet again at $14. I say yet again because we were buying here at 11, right? And then we went all the way to 22. So we double our money, and now we'll come back at 14, and the next push will likely be a lot higher, right? It's going to be somewhere in the 29, 28, into some of these fib extensions. Okay, so 20, 30. So buy at 15, exit at 30. Great, double your money again. So RIVN, I really like at this level. The downside of it, because everything has got potential downside, is this. So mind you, we could see a $12 RIVN again, which is fine. 14 to 12. I am happy to be a little bit in drawdown if my upside is to $30. That is pretty much it as to what I wanted to talk about. A couple of pairs that I'll be looking at. So I am looking at this gigantic harmonic playing out on USDJPY, so dollar against yen. This is a butterfly, so you can see where it traced 886 past the 786. So this is a butterfly. This is going to be my take profit. We have, obviously, you can see big wick there, tapped into that level, and now I'm in this buy as it is now because I think this was already a big liquidity grab and a big attempt to reverse. I do have a second buy into this fair value gap down here, just in case we do this and then we'll continue higher. There's a buy down here as well. Okay, so this candle right here specifically, I will make it nice and clear. There has my attention. Okay, so USDJPY, I'm active on a buy with a take profit of 168. So this is currently a 128, very tight stop loss, because if we do invalidate, we'll likely go a lot lower. Okay, and then was NU similar on a weekly, very big level here for NU. We are also playing almost completed an harmonic. We just need to come back into this weekly candle to the left. We are at the top, but we are also at the 76. So instead of obviously playing the buy was done here, as you can see, but now the sell will be a much shorter sell, basically playing off of the 76, 86 of this leg, right? High to low, 76, 86. And now I just want to get to the 50%. That's all. So I'm also short on NU. So that is New Zealand dollar versus US dollar. Okay. That's it from me today. Any questions? What is the difference between a change of character and break of structure? Pretty simple. Pretty simple. I'll go over it quickly. I have gone through it many times if you watch my videos, but I'll do it again. So if we are going lower, so this is a downtrend. The first move that goes past the previous lower high, oops. Now we start making a higher high. This is not a BOS yet, right? So we go from low to higher low and higher high. The second one is a BOS. Okay, so this is a change of character. This is a BOS. Okay, so yeah, recording is there. So change of character is basically the first change of the market. It's the character changing. So if the character of the market here is bearish, the first change is bullish and it's a change of character. The second change is the break of structure. Okay, we don't trade change of character, we trade BOSs. Cool. Yes, George, I have it recorded for you. Don't worry. Cool. All right. That was it. So we've gone through a fair bit. Few stocks to buy. I'll be buying, like I said, I'm buying coffee at the moment, waiting for PayPal to give us something. And RIVN, I have my funds ready to deploy there. And for XRP, just wait. Cover your entry. We're in profit. Okay, so we've got an active trade there. Yeah, I don't want to see any one of you being stopped out here. Okay, so just make sure that you cover your entry. We already hit TP1. Awesome. I'm gonna go and upload this on YouTube so you guys can go and take a little peek. And yeah, just be patient. Okay, this is the time. These are the boring times. These boring times are great in trading. Trading should never feel exciting. If trading feels exciting, if trading feels it makes you giddy up and you're too emotional. I know it sounds robotic, but it's a reality of it. When you trade with emotions, 9 times out of 10 you are getting wrecked. Okay, you become the liquidity. So just keep that little nugget in mind when you put on the charts. Open the charts, clean your space, clean your mind, and just be in and out of the market relatively quickly. Don't stare at the charts too long either. All right, fam, have a great rest of your day if you're in Australia. If not, rest of your evening if you're in the US, or afternoon, depends on where you are. And I will see you guys and girls next week. And chat soon. Bye now.